Alright guys, what's up? Capo J here. Today I wanted to talk about and try to advise people to not limit yourself by being a gun snob. Pretty much where I'm getting this from is, I guess, personal experience. There would have been a time, maybe 5 to 10 years ago, where I wouldn't have purchased any of the few examples of guns that you see lying here on the table in front of you. Pretty much at one time I only liked commie guns. I only liked milsurp type stuff. Then eventually I graduated to like appreciating the Glock and the M&P type pistols for carry. I pretty much figured, well, they cover everything that needs to be done. There is no reason to, explore other options. Everything else is just, a new fad. But as time went on and the more shooting I got involved with and the more guns that I was able to fire and borrow and go to the range and rent and shooting other guns from friends of mine, I pretty much ditched that attitude. I pretty much figured that I was basically missing out. I was too narrow-minded. Once upon a time, I would have never even considered getting an M4 or any kind of AR-15 because I just really wasn't into the idea of having a 22 caliber rifle, so to speak. Even though it's more higher powered than a 22 long rifle, I figured if it can't get done with an AK, what's this AR-15 fad or craze? What's it all about? It can't be any better than an AK. Well, as time went on, I got to shoot them, had more fun with them. I saw the value in them. Finally picked one up, and as well as a SIG MCX, which is another story, which I'll post a video on coming up shortly. It's not here right now because it's dealing with a recall. But in any event, now that I've gotten into 5.56 guns, AR-15 type guns, whatever you want to call them, I think they're awesome. I have a lot of fun with them. They're a blast. They run well, and they're pretty much awesome. Moving on, there would have been a time when I never would have considered buying this old Remington 870. I pretty much grew up with Mossberg shotguns. Probably my favorite pump shotgun of all time was a 590A1. For whatever reason, I just had kind of some issues, and a friend of mine wanted it, so I sold it to him, and I lucked up and found a good deal on this old Express Magnum. It's about a 10-year-old shotgun that the guy barely put a box of shells through. And to be honest with you, here we are, I think maybe 2-3 years later, me owning this 870, and it's my favorite shotgun. It's awesome. Now I see what the fanfare about over 870s are. It's lightweight, it's very smooth, it's just fun to run. And then kind of moving on to handguns. Once upon a time, I figured, well, if you have a Glock or an M&P, which I had both, why bother with any other striker-fired, carry gun? If it can't get done with the Glock, can't get done with an M&P, there's no other reason to have any kind of other striker-fired pistol. They're just, it's just the flavor of the month or so on. Well, then I discovered the SIG P320, and to date, it is pretty much ultimately my favorite 9mm that I've ever owned, my favorite pistol. It's my pretty much #1 carry gun. It's the one I probably carried the longest, even though I'm not carrying it right now. I like to kind of rotate out sometimes. So basically, just to show you and give you examples of kind of what I've went through, I guess, throughout my gun owning career. It's good to rent other guns, borrow them. It's good to get rid of preconceived notions about what you think you like and what you think you don't like. I gotta be honest, even though I only own one, revolvers are some of the most fun guns to shoot. Every time I go out to my friends out in the country, he's got a bunch of cool old Smiths and old Colts and some Rugers. And as a matter of fact, I got to shoot I believe it's, you guys can correct me, you revolver guys, it's an old Smith & Wesson, I think model 58, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a 3-inch 41 Magnum revolver, I think out of the 70s or the 80s. That gun is one of the coolest guns I have ever seen and ever got to shoot. It was a blast. It was awesome. Maybe one day I'll post a vid on it if I could borrow it from him. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanting to spread the message out there to, you know, don't be a gun snob, don't be narrow-minded, kind of expand your horizons. Like, you know, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. Just because, you know, you don't have to own it to like it or to appreciate it. Because I'm afraid, you know, I've been missing out on a lot of cool stuff, and that's just something that I've only discovered probably within the past 5 years. So I don't know. That's pretty much it. Just wanted to share my little story there and kind of, you know, express what I've kind of learned and how I've been able to grow as a gun owner and get a lot of stuff and appreciate a lot more guns than I would have probably, you know, 5-10 years ago. So questions or comments, leave them down below. Take it easy.